Hi,
Hi,
I'm Sophia.
I'm Megan.
Yeah, and we're going to be doing a book review on Matched by Ali Condie. Because it's a book we both mutually read, didn't we? Yeah.
When do you use words like mutual?
I use words like mutually all the time when I write and shit. When I talk, not so much. Okay, so we're going to give a short summary of the book, starting in three.
So,
Okay.
3, 2, 1, go!
I thought you had the summary in mind, Megan.
I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, so this book is about a girl,
Named Cassia.
and it's about a society.
Dystopia novel.
Wee, do you know what dystopian is? Because I don't.
I told you this like 5 times. How do you not know this?
I know now.
Finally.
Okay, so here we go. So, there.
There's a society that
Hold
controls.
on.
Wow. Okay, this can work. Here's the actual book.
Isn't it a cool cover?
It
I just
is.
think it's an awesome cover. Look, it's about a girl in a bubble. Of course, that's my summary. Okay.
Represents the capsule.
In this society, officials lead who you love, where you work. Oh, I'm sorry. I mean, officials decide who you love, where you work, when you die. Cassia has always trusted their choices. It's hardly any price to pay for a long life, the perfect job, the ideal mate. So when her best friend appears on the matching screen, Cassia knows with complete certainty that he's the one. Until she sees another face flash for an instant before the screen fades to black. Now Cassia is faced with impossible choices between Xander and Kai, between the only life she's known and a path no one has ever dared to follow, between perfection and passion. Matched is a story for right now and storytelling with the Renaissance. Yeah, we didn't need to know that part. Okay.
Okay.
So that's the summary.
That's the story basically in a nutshell. And okay, this is a very confusing book to review because so much crap is just.
Let's start with Cassie's relationship with Xander.
Okay, Cassia and Xander have been. Did you call her Cassie?
No.
It's Cassia.
I just call her Cassia.
You said Cassie.
Cassia, in my opinion, her name should have been Cassie because Cassia just.
Really? I kind of like that. Cassia.
Yeah, whatever. I
Anyway.
did say Cassia though.
Shut up.
You.
Okay.
So Cassia's relationship with Xander.
Yes, they have been best friends basically their entire lives, and they go to the matching ceremony together. The matching ceremony is basically this banquet that you have when you're 17 years old, and the society, capital S, decides who you are destined to spend the rest of your life with based on data that they've collected about you. And they go by alphabetical order and by the girls. And so Cassia's name comes up and the screen is like black for like a minute and that never happens. That's like really weird.
That
And
means that the person that's her match is in the room.
that normally doesn't happen. They're normally like across the country. This takes place in the United
Because
States in the
there's
future.
only like one match in the entire world for you. It's very it's highly improbable according to them that the person
Not impossible,
that,
just improbable.
yeah, that the because they impossible is not a word they use.
No.
They use improbable. So
because anything can happen in this society.
So that like it'd be improbable that her one match in the entire world is in the room with her.
Mm-hmm.
Never mind her like childhood best friend.
Yeah. So her match ends up being Xander, and you would think they would both be a little weirded out by this, but no. Xander's just like wholeheartedly like, hey, hold my hand as we walk out of the match banquet, Cassia.
It's like,
and he's like happy as freaking can be, and Cassie's just like, okay.
All right, Xander's cool.
The society's correct, whatever. But then,
so then they give her
the silver box with like, they call it a microcard, but in our day and age, it's kind of a flash drive.
I'm guessing it's like a hologram that pops up and shows you,
so.
huh?
The port is basically our computer. They call their computer a port, and they plug in the microcard and they see information. So it's kind of like a flash drive.
So they give it to him, and she's looking, and it's supposed to give you um your match's face, and then it shows you all this information, like their favorite color, their job, and she didn't really need to see this because she was already best friends. She already knew all of this stuff.
And surprisingly, since the society knows everything about you, they like on the microcards for some reason they get some information wrong, which I found kind of funny. Go on. And then the screen on the port, the
Pops
computer,
up with Xander's face, and then
fades to black, and then
and
you
then
see Kai Markham's face, and she's like, "Whoa, holy crap, what is this?
and
Whoa!"
he's also another guy that lives there,
Mm-hmm.
but he's very dark and mysterious.
And he's an aberration, as they call it.
But
Not
she
an
doesn't find
anomaly.
this out till later. He was
Yeah.
supposedly adopted, and no one's supposed to know that he's an aberration. And she finds this out when an official comes for her.
Her official.
Her officials are like they're like the police.
Kinda.
They're
They're
kind
like polices for the government.
Yeah. So she goes and she tells her that there's been a mistake and blah blah blah, and to make her feel better, she's like, he's an aberration, blah blah
He
blah.
was never supposed to be matched to anybody, never mind you.
Yeah, and that it was just a mistake, and that she should stay with Xander and forget it
Just
ever
be
happened.
yeah, just be happy.
But she can't.
Because she goes into this class where they have to like hike up this big hill. And hiking is something that's normally not allowed, and the hiking classes have been like revoked and haven't been allowed for like a long time. So it's kind of weird.
They can't go anywhere without
You can't
society.
even run down the street.
You're not allowed to run. You're only allowed to run on like treadmills where they track
Yeah.
you. Everything is like there. Like they know exactly what you're gonna do and everything. Isn't that creepy? Like them controlling your entire life.
Like they collect so much memories and data about you that they can predict every decision you're ever going to make in your life.
They track your dreams.
They have like this sticky thing behind your ear while you sleep, and they can keep track of what you're dreaming about.
Although I don't get why
And they said like
they
yeah,
switch off between her and her brother for the dreams every day. I don't know why they do that though. I don't know. Wouldn't they do it like every day?
and and there's also this thing called being sighted. And what was sighted? I never really got that.
It means when it's like you're doing something wrong and getting a warning. It's like after that you're like turned into an aberration for doing no, an anomaly for doing something.
I thought like sighted was like put in jail or like tortured or something.
No.
That's what I thought.
Remember the dad got cited? It's doing something wrong, but not wrong enough to be called an anomaly. It's like, okay, you do another thing. It's like being on parole or something like that. It's like you do another thing like this, and bye bye.
And what they mean by doing another thing like this is like, okay, they have this thing called the hundreds. And it's like the 100 songs, 100 poems, 100 books, 100 paintings, 100 everything. They can't you can't choose you can choose what you like, but out of these 100 things. And just think about it. There are so many like songs and books and poems out there, and they organize it by hundreds, and you have to pick one out of those 100.
And they like monitor when they were choosing. They made sure they didn't give you things like poems that tell you how to fight. And
yeah,
even
like nothing that would give like ideas in your head about like rebelling. They like only provide like poems about like nature or like bumblebees or something.
And they monitored the songs too, so that you can't even like you can't sing them because they're
Like
too
no
complicated for a person to sing. Only computers can sing them. They won't even. They make sure you can't sing. That the only songs you know you can't even do, except for the society's national anthem, which is just like, come on.
And yeah, that's one of the 100 songs that you can hear. And there's like these concerts that you can go to. Okay, your day is organized so precisely. You have pretty much no free time. And if you do have free time, you're either spent doing it like homework or reading one of the 100 books or something like that.
Free rec hours, they call them.
Free rec hours.
They give you those.
Mm-hmm.
You can either go to the music store at the time, or
like go to like the game center.
Or
they can play like games.
And then what was the last thing you could
do? Listen to music.
Music.
Oh, go to the movies.
Movies.
Yeah.
And they only had like one or two showings about the society and blah.
And so okay, should we move on to her relationship with Kai? Well, we
She is, I don't know, hooked on Xander. I don't know why. I
well,
don't.
me?
Yes.
I'm not hooked on Xander. I'm just confused on whether I like Kai or Xander more because I feel like Cassie. I like them for two totally different reasons.
I was always for Kai. I'm pretty
Because
sure
she's like
most of you
she
are.
likes the dark, mysterious type.
Most people do. Like,
Well,
childhood friend, dark, mysterious person that you don't even know that's totally freaking hot and awesome.
they're both
Yes.
hot. They're both hot, and everybody wants them to be their
Yeah, but they're
matches.
hot and boring. You know?
Xander's like, well, Xander was blonde, so I don't like blonde guys.
She
Yeah.
doesn't like blonde guys. Can you? It's like, who
Yeah,
doesn't
but
like blonde guys? Me.
and
So
okay,
their
so
relationship, Xander, like, you know, he's not there most
Xander's
of
like,
the time.
yeah, Xander's like, he's like the lifelong friend, but once they're matched, they're like kind of drifting apart.
I can see why people wouldn't like Xander as much as Kai, because Xander's not there most of the time. Xander like wasn't given a shot.
Yeah.
She saw Kai and that's who she went after. She never like considered Xander that much as, and it's not really fair to Xander
No, not really.
because he never gets a shot and you always see Kai, 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 so that's why you like Kai and you don't know Xander.
And one of the things that really ticked me off about Xander when they mentioned like his love for like games and knowing everything, that really pissed me off about his personality. Like, oh, I'm not going to pay attention to my match, Cassia. I'm gonna play this game where I have to slide a disc across the floor. Yup, that is my life right there. Like, that kind of pissed me off. I hate when people do that. Anyway, so Cassie's relationship with Kai. Kai is the one she saw on the microcard, right? Yeah. And he's an aberration where he's not allowed to be matched with anybody or not allowed to fall in love. And you don't realize till the end about the plan that was organized.
What?
Oh yeah, spoiler alert. Oh yeah.
Remember, wait, what plan?
The plan that like the
Oh,
official.
the official?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Okay. So Kai and Cassia, you can like easily tell there's chemistry between them like right when they talk to each other. And right when she tells the story of how they first met like at the pool, that was so cute.
My favorite part was on the hill when Kai gets caught with another girl because
Oh, I hated that.
okay, so Cassie is like, okay, they race to the hill every day, and she usually gets to the top right after Kai. But
Yeah.
this time, a girl beats her, and she apparently asked Kai to show her what he was doing with Cassia, because
Kai's teaching her how to write cursive because in this society they only type. They're not allowed to like write anything.
So Kai had to cover, and Kai said he was teaching her how to draw trees, and so that's what he was doing. But when Cassia came up, she's like, "Is he teaching her how to write?" And she got so jealous.
So betrayed.
Yes, and she got so mad at Kai.
Yeah.
And then the next day, she's like, "I'm sorry for freaking out on you. Why were you with that girl?" And he tells her, and she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry." And Kai's just like, "It's alright. It's cute when I see you when you're jealous." And I just thought that was so adorable. It's cute when you're because they weren't like going out or anything. They were just supposedly friends. Like they never said they had feelings for each other yet. And then he's like, "I like it when you're jealous." And I just think that is really adorable because they weren't even known that yet.
So Kai grew up in a different, what's it called, like a province?
Outer Providences, where like, okay.
They're provinces, not providences. They're outer provinces.
Whatever.
Like the province that Cassia and Xander are in, was it the province of Aurea? Yeah. That's like the top perfect part of the country.
They track everything, and then when you get to the outer provinces, they like look at you less,
you're like less kept on track,
and like it's easier to die there, and you do die there, and they usually put like aberrations and anomalies there. Okay, if in case you don't know what aberrations and anomalies are,
yeah, that's kind of confusing.
Are people that actually committed a crime, And like,
And they're actually thought of like crazy and outsiders. Like,
but all they could do was like just be like
I think,
harboring a poem that they weren't supposed to, like
yeah,
not one of the 100. They could
and
do
like,
that and be like anomaly, which wouldn't like
yeah,
that's horrible.
they're
Like
like
they're criminals for doing something like that. And then aberrations are like their children. Which
yeah,
how is that fair? Like my parents do something wrong, so all of a sudden I'm an aberration and I
and
don't
everybody
like
like
have
shuns
privileges.
you and just
Yes.
looks down on you,
Yes,
and you're
and
not
I
allowed
can
to have
never
any
be like
freedom.
I can't do anything. I like
You
that's
get like the
horrible.
worst job in the society.
Yeah.
Like that would
No,
suck.
Kai actually got lucky when he was adopted. Most aberrations just stay in the outer provinces and die early. Like, isn't that horrible?
Hmm.
Like, you don't have much thing.
And then like Kai was adopted by his aunt and uncle because their son
Oh, and you
died.
can never be matched if you're an aberration.
Yeah, I think we mentioned that.
Yeah.
And his aunt and uncle took him in because their son was killed by an anomaly. And for some reason, okay, when you're 10, you get this green pill, green capsule, and when you're 13, you get a blue one. And when you're 17, you get a red one. The green one makes you like less stress, it calms you down, and the blue one
Supposedly.
supposedly, and oh, and the blue one, what did you say the blue one did?
The blue one is supposedly supposed to keep you, like if you ever get lost or something, it's supposed to keep you like alive with water. If you have water, it's supposed to keep you alive for a couple of days. It's supposed to be like a food source, have all the nutrients. Supposedly, that's what the society tells you.
And then
You don't find out what it actually does to the second.
spoiler alert.
I didn't tell them what it was. I could have done that. Okay, and the red pill.
Erases your memory of the last 12 hours. And the
Spoiler alert! You're not supposed to know that.
yeah, but like since it erases your memory, everybody thinks that the red pill kills you because nobody ever talks about it after they've taken it.
No one knows what the red pill is. The society never tells you.
Yeah, and the
And
society
then,
and if something happens, the society instructs you if
like,
you have to take it.
they use it once when Kai gets like taken.
Spoiler alert! That's like the biggest spoiler in the whole freaking book.
Yeah,
That's what made me cry.
yeah,
Spoiler alert! You're gonna cry.
Spoiler alert! You're gonna cry. How many times are we gonna use that word, Sophia?
Well, don't want to be rude.
Okay, so we're summarizing way too much. It's probably
Okay.
Okay.
Pros and cons. I think we've given you plenty of information about the book.
Yeah.
On to pros and cons.
Okay.
Let's start with the cons, because even though this book was really nice, it definitely did have a few cons
It was
that I didn't like.
pretty confusing with the words that
Yeah.
they use. You kind of like sometimes you don't know what they're talking about.
A
And
few times, yeah.
yeah.
And like all the rules, it's hard to keep track of like what you're not supposed to do and what you're allowed to do, which is not that much. And like why it's told from her perspective. Why Cassia is doing certain things and why she isn't doing certain things.
They don't give you much information about the society.
Or like how it came to be.
No, Cassia never says that. Cassia just like goes through like, all right, we're going to our rec hours today, and you have to figure it out that way and kind of piece things together. They never like give you a summary of what actually happened.
Yeah.
Which,
like how like you have to like it's told over like weeks, like months, like the time span of the book's like months, and you have to like piece different things that they're doing and kind of compile and think like, oh, that's the world they live in. That's kind of how it works. And another con was Cassia's character. Cassia's character pissed me off at sometimes.
Cause she okay. So you know how you read books like this where there's society
like
there,
the Hunger Games or
and
something.
people just sit back and they think it's totally okay.
And then you're reading, you're like, this is so wrong.
Like, all right, my grandfather dies tomorrow when he turns 80, because all the 80-year-olds they die.
Because like there's this statistic that says like after you turn 80, like you get rapidly more depressed, like you're not happy anymore. So they give you like your last meal.
So Cassie's just like, I'm just gonna visit my grandfather before he dies, and she
is sad, but she thinks like, oh, I'm not supposed to be sad because the officials will think I'm weak or something.
She thinks it's for the good. She thinks it's sad, but it has to be. She doesn't think there's another world where her grandfather can live.
Like she has no idea of like what the past was. She just thinks like it's always been like this. She knows like it wasn't always like this, but she thinks like this is a better way than what that was.
Because that's what the
Society
teaches you.
brainwashes you into thinking.
And what's sad is she never like thinks otherwise until she starts falling in love with Kai. I mean, like, can't you do it a different way? Does it always have to do with love? Can't it be like, I don't know, your grandfather dying? Like, no, it's like, okay, I love Kai. Society wrong. My grandfather dying? Alright, that's okay. Awesome society. Like, why? Like, it just pisses me off that people see it that way.
And speaking of Kai changing her views, Cassia's character flip-flops like dramatically within like one chapter. It's ridiculous. Like one half of the book, she's like, "Oh, the society's great. The society's not corrupt at all. This is all rational and everything's okay." By this part of the book, she's just like, "The society's wrong. What have I been thinking? Xander's not my match. Kai is the one I love. What is wrong with me? What's wrong with this society? Why aren't I blaming everything on them? I should be blaming everything on them. They're so corrupt." She finally realized it like that. And same with her relationship with Kai. One time she's like, "Oh, I do like Kai. He's very mysterious. I feel really bad for him being an aberration and everything." But then like she's like, "I love Kai. Let's run away in the woods and be happy and live together." I'm just like, no warning, no pretense, just that. And I'm like, I was so surprised. I was like in my bed, just like, what? That's literally what I did. I had to put the book down and be like, get up from my bed and rationalize with myself what just happened. Same with the ending. The ending's so sad. I was in the car with my mom and I seriously cried. She was like, "What's wrong with you? Get out of the car." I'm like, you can't just tell me that! Guy just did the bus and the air train and the running and the red capsule and memories. Okay. I think I'm ready. Overall, great book. Pros. Oh yeah, we haven't.
Okay,
pros.
Overall, great book.
Pros.
Well,
the love triangle was superb.
I don't think it was that much of a love triangle. I don't think Cassia got much of a. I don't think there was much of a choice between Kai and Xander. It has always been Kai.
You were just. I think you're just biased because you just love Kai so much.
No, I don't think Xander had a chance.
You never thought Xander's been there since the beginning of the book, and you never liked him.
I read the summary and I knew she'd pick Kai. They never pick. Okay.
Get the book again.
It says between perfection and passion. Who in their right mind ever chooses perfection over passion in a book?
Especially a YA novel.
No one. No one ever does that. So obviously Kai was gonna win from the beginning.
Yes, but this is only the
Xander
first
never
book.
got a choice.
This is the first book. I've googled the ending. Don't do that. You'll be spoiled.
Actually, some people say she picks Xander, other people say she picks Kai. So we have no idea how the book actually ends. I only got to the second book. I haven't read the third book yet. And she hasn't even read the second book yet. But I could spoil it for her if I wanted to.
No, she shouldn't. I'm ordering it. It's just not in my library yet. So,
overall, book awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of boring at first, I guess.
Yeah. But, like, it does pick up once her personality changes.
It gets better. Like, you get so frustrated with Cassia in the beginning. Because she's so stupid. You know when you always read these books and the main character always has that line of thinking at first?
And then
doesn't it just annoy the hell out of you?
And then once stuff starts happening, she's just like, the character just like flips and just like, this is wrong.
Like,
finally thinks rationally with us.
They're so like brainwashed. It's horrible, and it like even if you lived in a society like this, how can you actually think it's right for the society to kill your grandfather at 80 years old? Like, how is that ever right? That makes no sense to me.
And like
I don't
you
know.
and then what if you like get matched to a person and you end up not liking them? The society got something wrong. Shocker.
The society never gets anything wrong. The society
It's
has
always
all the
correct.
statistics.
Statistics.
It's a really weird word to say.
Statistics.
Statistics.
What are you doing?
Circles.
Okay. Okay, stop. Okay, stop.
Well, I think we wasted 26 minutes of your life, and we should go now.
Okay, leave a comment below if you have read the books and you or just read this review and pretty much figured everything out that happens. 'Cause we're awesome at that.
So we're just awesome at just like summarizing the entire book and giving like 2 opinions, and then being like, haha, yeah, sorry for you. Bye now. This is the first book we used.
Yeah.
You can see how hard. Bye now. You can press stop button.
Yeah, leave a comment below if you're Team Xander or Team Kai. Because everything has to be a team.
Or Xander. I don't know.
I'm
It's
Team
the
Swi-
second book. I'm kind of confused.
I'm Team Outer Province. I have no idea what to think.